McGuinness out of the ground.
Big roar, as you'd expect. The Blues go to the left, the Crows go to the right. Wren gets the first tuck to Bickley, starts in the centre square. Christou runs against it, takes a good mark, playing on Groom. He's had some injury problems in the Foster's Cup. Switches a handball out to Koutoufides. Great athlete he is, very promising player. Short kick intercepted by Lee. Lee had the job on Wanganeen early last week. The Hall, who should kick a running goal. 40 metres out, lines him up and makes a meal of it and misses. Well, that would have been the ideal start. He's kicking into a bit of a breeze, but on the run from 30 metres in the end, it did look a good thing.
Well, Koutoufides' short kick down to the wing was a little ordinary. If it's going to be short, it's got to be accurate. Hannah takes the kick in. Adelaide 1 point. Hannah in trouble, all sorts of trouble. Helped out in the finish by Elvin, across to Silvani. Silvani and Modro, what a battle that'll be. Ratton's got the football at half-back, a kick into the centre, marked by McCormick and away for Hogg. Hogg to centre-half forward, a great mark taken by Sean Wren at centre-half-back. He hand passes away to Jamieson. Jamison's a good kick, and he finds Wiedemann on centre wing. The crowd here, they love Wayne Wiedemann. They won't love him for that. Bradley marks at half-back. Terrific atmosphere here at Football Park. Any game of football, you've just got to get involved in. Bradley, a lovely long kick, goes over the centre, but hits Wren on the chest, just behind the centre, away for McGuinness, and the Crows have possession on the far wing.
Looks for Hall on a long lead, out very wide, Koutoufides with him. Hall keeps it in play, clever, handball back, McGuinness is back up, excellent, handball inside to Liptak. Liptak tries to squeeze it to Modra. Was it out of bounds? It's a mark. Hey, gee, that must have been close.
Well, let's have a look at the replay if it comes up.
Well, neither person could tell. The boundary umpire was 50 yards away.
Gee, there's a fight on two between McCormack and Wiedemann are at it.
Just a push, I'd call it. Interesting that Alvin is picking up Tregenza. I know that Carlton believe Tregenza is one of the keys for the Crows.
Here's Modra. Cross the face. Remember, he missed 3 last week early. Hannah takes it. So the Crows have had 2 very good chances, particularly Hall.
Yes, Tregenza very vital in those transitions when the ball comes out of their defence and they attack down the outer side. And they've elected to man up with one of the noted taggers of the AFL, Tom Alvin.
Crows bench Brown and Maynard amongst them. Jarman. 27 at the moment to get to 31. Expected to get down to 19. Bradley tried a little toe poke. He kicked 5 in that famous performance as it was, particularly in the third quarter against the Crows at Waverley Park in that second semi-final.
Bruce, Craig Bradley won the toss and had no hesitation going down to that left-hand end. So the Blues would have to be a goal or 2 in front, I would think, if they're going to take advantage of that. Anderson's got the football now for Adelaide. In towards half forward. Oh, nearly a great grab, but it's picked up by Smart. Smart goes for goal and he's pushed through. Nigel Smart kicks the first goal of the game. Adelaide lead by 7 points.
Well, he's one of the big keys for the Adelaide Crows. Here's Greg Anderson. A long bomb in. Nigel Smart, in fact, has been struggling through the Foster's Cup, but he saves his best for Football Park, and that's perhaps the biggest unknown issue of the night. What effect will this venue have on the game? Has Carlton got used to it? They've had some good victories here, or will the Crows, as they normally do, be 10 goals better?
So the bounce in the centre is not very good. Williams hemmed in. Bickley kick towards half forward. Hannah and Smart. Hannah from behind. Good punch. Ratton and Liptak. Down goes Hall. Ratton the tackler. Liptak's gone. Caught with the football. Will be penalised. Carlton's free kick will go back to Christou at right half back.
Well, he was outstanding in some of the finals games last year, Christou. His run and long left foot, as you see on screen, invaluable.
Beautiful kick, punched away, back near the centre of the ground. Strong at the football was Alvin. Alvin's kicked to full forward, no mark taken. The ball drops for Heaver, shot for goal, it's through. Goal to Carlton.
Goal to Carlton, but put it down to Tom Alvin. What a fantastic burst through the middle of the ground. Big kick from Ange Christou, set it up. You'll see here Alvin on the burst, comes straight through. Tregenza, his man, left in his wake. It was a bit of a mongrel kick, but this man on screen, Oliver, is going to be a vital player. Good roving from Heaver, who converts.
Crows by a point after Heaver's goal. 1-1 to a goal. Madden and Wren again, better bounce. Neither got an effective tap. Bradley got his hands on it. McGuinness tried to take it off. Bradley still with it. McDermott's tackle good. Brown went through hard with Wren. McGuinness had to give it up in a hurry. Lee got the ball finally. Went to half forward. Hannah versus Smart. That's going to be a big duel like Silvani and Modra. Ratton goes to the boundary line and he finds it.
I thought Craig Bradley could have been awarded a free kick in there. He was slung pretty heavily. He's got Mark Bickley, I should say, chasing him round, but Craig Bradley is trying to effect a tag on Chris McDermott.
We've got a couple of threesomes going, haven't we, at the moment? Wiedemann goes to ground. Groom was there for a moment, and again, the umpire will come in and restart it. Here's Hogg running with McGuinness and Williams, the other threesome. There's Dean and Cook, the new boy, and O'Sullivan.
Mark Bickley just appears a little bit unawares as to what to do.
Madden and Groom. Ratton's quick kick up towards centre wing. Here's McDermott, Bradley. Hogg trying to get rid of Hart. Good handball. Well, missed in the end by Lee. Out of play. No, Hart keeps it into Lee. Lee with his third kick. Centering kick low. Or hard one, but Kuda Feedings did well. A ricocheting ball in the end, but he was able to hold his ground and take the mark. And Kuda Feedings from centre half back goes out very wide. Sexton, the unfamiliar role, is playing up forward tonight to try and get some balance with Silvani up the back. No Kernahan, of course, because of suspension. Here's Silvani running off full back up towards the 50 metres. Wren attacks the foot. He gets a handball away, missed by Rashudo, taken by Gleeson.
Gleeson's little kick in towards the centre. The mark is taken by Bradley. Bradley loves to run. He's 50 metres out. The short kick ineffective. Williams handball back to Bradley. Quick hands by the Blues. They're in trouble. In all sorts of trouble. Now the Crows will get clear because their efficiency was superior to the Blues. The ball goes wide. Left half back Rashudo. A nice little kick towards the wing. McDermott. On to Tregenza. Tregenza, can he carry the football up to half forward? Into that position the mark is taken by Groom.
Yes, and that turnover resulted from Craig Bradley. He should have gone for the long bomb. Instead, he tried to chip it to Greg Williams, and that resulted in the turnover.
Groom has the football 53.5 metres from goal, kicking into a slight breeze, so the distance would be a bit of difficulty. His kick will drop to the front of the square. No mark taken. Lip tack, no, beaten for it by Williams. Williams has a good look. Goes back onto the right foot. Short one, Ratton. Over the top, Hannah. Hannah's at centre half back. He's kicking towards half forward. Has it got the carry? No, great effort. Going back, McDermott, Captain Courageous.
Pretty poor kick from Hannah all the same. There was 3 Crows to only the 1.
And
Speaking of poor kicks.
Chopped off by Bond. McDermott's kick not good. Bond to full forward. It bounces freely. Oliver, still a chance. Kick it off the ground. Hoover. Could be a goal. It is. Hoover gets his second, and you wouldn't know it because there's silence here when the opposition get a goal.
No, perhaps the odd boo, Robert. But that's twice in the space of 5 minutes that Brent Hoover has combined with Stephen Oliver. That's a shocking kick from the skipper. And they paid the ultimate price. Oliver, he's been known as the Coleman of the bush. He works so well. He's very mobile for a tall player. And Hoover just gets the mongrel off the ground, but gets full result.
Had a big year in 1993, Heaver. A goal-kicking forward pocket. Occasionally gets a run on the ball. Madden and Wren to go with Carlton now leading.
Mitchell lining up at centre half forward.
So Carlton leading. The Crows at 13-12, 2-1 to 2 goals. Wren, Wiedemann, good take, lip tack. Maybe the handball was on. Hannah intercepted it. It was probably meant for Hall. The left-hand handball to Fraser Brown. Mitchell had a fumble, had it taken off him in the hand. Hogg back towards McCormack, or Brown I should say, out wide towards centre wing. Alvin off the ground, not a bad tactic. Sexton playing in front, couldn't quite hold it. Jamison slick hands, under pressure. McDermott got it towards Anderson. Rode one bump, was going to be a high one. Play on call. Ben Hart streams through the centre, goes for Modra on a lead, plays it beautifully. The kick was exquisite, really, and Modra used his body superbly.
Yeah, great rebound football there from the Crows. Ben Hart's been tried in a lot of positions in the Foster's Cup. Perhaps Corns is just experimenting, but I think at this stage of his development, coming off that back line is one of his best positions.
Big kick here. Kick by Modra is good. It's a goal.
Well, Greg Anderson lucky to keep his head on here. Watch this kick now from the young champion. Dual All-Australian already. Magnificent kick. Silvani just out-bustled and outsmarted.
Back in the centre, Adelaide by a point. It's right the first time. It's 2-1 now, Adelaide, to 2 goals, Carlton. Point the difference. Brown and Anderson. Anderson takes it away from him. Modra on a lead. In the front spot, well played Silvani. And a free kick, Modra. He's not complaining too much.
Well, he isn't, but from here, Bruce, it looked as if it was very borderline. But the umpire's now most definitely in the best position. Let's just have a look. Whew.
There was just a little left hand in Modra's back.
But if you
he
can't
went
have
for
a little bit, Robbo,
I agree. Yep.
Missed it badly. So Modra.
I mean, that's going to from the sublime to the ridiculous, paying those.
Well, it just needs a little bit of explaining. And Stephen Silvani, disciplined as he is, no argument. Let him have the kick. What can you do?
2-2 to 2 goals.
Luke O'Sullivan and David Brown preparing to come on from there for their respective teams.
Stephen Silvani to kick the ball back in for the Blues. There's a short kick on at centre-half back. Ratton goes too high for that player. McGuinness gathers. Grabbed by the jumper. Got the hand pass away. Wiedemann took his eyes off it. Not because he didn't want it, but I think he was trying to do something before he really took possession. Brown's tap on. Gathered about 4 or 5 metres. And it goes over for a throw-in. Mitchell coming off the ground for Carlton. O'Sullivan on. And Visca is it off for the Crows and Brown on.
Yeah, I'm sure Mitchell will be benched because he fumbled that one across half back, which cost him. Just once again an element of his, or an indication of his level of confidence.
Kick in by Ratton, finds Hannah. Sets it up, but the hand pass was ordinary for Elvin. Elvin's got a little bit of space. He's kicking towards full forward. Oliver makes ground and marks inside 50 metres.
Already Tom Elvin is becoming a bit of a headache for the Crows. Totally dominating Tregenza. He set up 1 goal already with some fine play with a burst through the wing area, and once again on the end of a handball, that's a great kick to the youngster.
Oliver, who was reluctant to play with the Blues and came down for the second half of last year. Looks rather athletic, and his kick for goal is offline.
Well, Brett Lever's already made his presence felt with Matthew Liptak being moved from the forward pocket way down to the back pocket. 2 quick goals in the first quarter. And that's why Visca's now sitting on the woodwork.
Adelaide lead by 1 point.
Hart comes very wide. Lee at half-back, under pressure. And a Carlton kick. O'Sullivan applying the tackle.
Good work from the Rhino. As we all know, he was famous for having a knee reconstruction at Waverley when it wasn't at its best.
He'll be looking for a big game too. It's his birthday tomorrow.
Ratton's kick to centre-half forward. Oliver caught out of it. Rouvray laid it off to Rashudo, playing in defence in this match tonight. Wiedemann the target. Reasonable hands there. Bickley's attack was excellent. His handball under pressure outstanding. Brown has just come on. Ratton's got the pace to go with him. Catches him, goes. Holding the footy. Definitely. Ratton from half-back to Hannah.
Hannah's got a chance to go to Koutafidis. Oh, he fumbled. Not fumbled, but hesitated. They're in trouble very much. Koutafidis may get a free kick. Very lucky, Chris Groom, you were stiff.
It was a poor handball initially from Carlton. You don't handball the players under pressure.
Well, that's the pressure that's being supplied there by the Adelaide Crows forwards. A punch away, goes back near the centre circle. Williams was courageous.
That
Bradley
is a great
off
kick.
the ground. Chance for Heaver. Chased down by Liptak. Heaver again off the ground. Can he make something out of it? Liptak was good. Kept persisting. Down goes Heaver. Was there anything in that from Rashudo? No. Yes. Elbow, says Gerard Healy. Umpire awards a free kick out there anyway to Luke O'Sullivan.
Well, there was a swinging arm there. Perhaps there was a bit of an academy there, but he certainly got hit by the swinging arm.
Well, we had enough
just let one fly.
And the kick in. Elvin in towards full forward. Oliver couldn't take it. Ben Hart away for Liptak. Liptak, Jamison, McDermott, and the Crows out of trouble. Up towards half forward. Big punch from behind. Kicked away by Ratton. Back towards half forward. Tap on by Williams. Missed by Bradley. Taken by Bickley. Centre half forward marking contest. Up goes Christo. Couldn't make it. Goes after it again. Little handball to Terrific football. Ratton's left foot kick to left half forward. No mark. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Jamison rebounds for the Crows.
Goes short, looks for Groom, finds him right in the heart of the centre square. Smart provides a lead. Modra goes in front, takes it. Marks in front of Silvani.
Just want to go back to Bickley's defensive work a couple of seconds ago. We saw Greg Williams.
Modra short, by the way. This is on to McDermott. Loose checking. Go on, Gerard.
Well, he did anticipate the tap on from Greg Williams, and that's why the Crows have got the ball. Some of the defensive work has been quite superb to date. The forward's just struggling a little bit because of inaccurate disposal.
Quick Modra, isn't he?
Well, he's tough to beat on those occasions.
Doesn't kick many goals, the captain I'm talking about here, McDermott. Only 19 in 66 matches before this. Straight through. Adelaide increases his advantage. 3-2 the Crows, 2-1 the Blues. Yeah, Bickley's play was good then, wasn't it?
It was excellent, yes. And the value of a turnover is probably worth 3 or 4 kicks in a normal conditions. And Chris McDermott, well, there was some doubt about his future, but after a knee injury in the Foster's Cup, he started this game quite well.
Crows lead by 7 points, 3-2 to 2-1. Centre square again, Wren and Madden. Madden goes in very hard, quick hands by O'Sullivan, but Lee able to hold it up. Handball back into the crunch there. Free kick going to McCormack in the centre square.
Tough little character is Paul McCormack, playing on another tough character, Wayne Wiedemann. So we'll keep our eye on that during the evening. McCormack's kick is good. Out towards half-forward, Oliver High couldn't take the mark. Picked up by Rashudo. Back to McGuinness. McGuinness's little kick. A little too short, but okay for Jamison. A bit of space. The kick ordinary by Rod Jamison's standards. Tregenza nearly makes something of this. No, he's beaten for it. Hogg gets it out. Somehow to Heaver. Heaver now to Bond. Bond's kick. Discipline to the front of the goal square. Jumping too high was the Crows defender. Lee gets it to Rashudo. He's in trouble. Good work by O'Sullivan. Still there. McGuinness caught by Sexton. Lee taps it close to the line and it goes over. And some desperate stuff by all players in that exchange in the left forward pocket for Carlton.
What about Oliver? Robbo, was there a free kick there?
A little too early, I thought, the Crows defender, but the umpire saw it all clear. Oliver goes for the tap out. Gets 2 goes at it. Right. Brilliant! Heaver's going to get the goal, but the hands of the Carlton player, Jared, who was it? Didn't quite catch it. It must have been Hogg.
No, I think it was Gleeson.
No, Hogg.
Hogg.
Well, Heaver ran back quickly to congratulate Matthew Hogg, and Heaver's now got 3 goals.
Yeah, there you see Hogg manning up with Tony McGuinness. Good call there from Bruce. And Heaver, what a headache he's becoming. I was speaking to some Carlton officials that said that perhaps Heaver hadn't prepared himself as well as the previous season. They were a bit concerned, but what a start to the season. 3 goals in the first quarter for a player who makes a living out of kicking goals. It's a good performance.
3-2, 3-1. Adelaide will be looking for something similar from a Brown up forward. They need somebody besides Modra to kick 3 or 4. Tregenza's quick one. Speaking of Brown, chips it out wide. Hall on a long lead. Christou with him. Free kick surely to Hall. Comes back. Hall, who was brilliant in the first half against Collingwood in the semi-final, out of sorts completely in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. Ex-Glenelg, champion at Hawthorn, knee reconstruction.
Geez, this would be a big kick.
Not going to make it.
The wind's on.
Modra takes off early and hangs on and holds it. Hung there forever in the front spot.
Well, we're pretty used to seeing a fair bit of that last year when he kicked, 124 goals in the season.
Yeah, 129 in the end.
29, was it?
Didn't you yell out one night, that's the mark of the season? They won't better that against North Melbourne, Robbo?
Modra, in fact, was really the only one who judged it. The ball held up into the wind, perhaps a little bit of local knowledge, and he worked his way to the front of the pack, lost Silvani in the process, and took an uncontested mark in the finish.
From 20 metres out, straight in front, kicks his second. Well, he's had a very good start, Gerard. He's missed a couple, but he's got 2 on the board.
Yes, well, he was under obviously some pressure at the during the week. Finished last week suspect with some injuries. He fell over, as you can see there once again. Prefers the moulded soles. Most of the locals here tell you that it's a bit like an ice skating rink, as is Waverley. Silvani just missing with the crunch punch.
So the bounce in the centre. Madden, Wren gets it. Williams overruns it. Getting it out was Groom. Wiedemann caught. Elvin a chance. No. Surely the umpire will be forced to start the game once again.
Well, the Crows are absolutely killing Carlton in the centre bounce takeaways. 6-1 at present.
4-2 to 3-1. Adelaide by 7 points. Wren. And there was McCormack. He couldn't get the ball away.
It is the key to the whole game here. If Adelaide can continue dominating out of the centre, they will win this quite convincingly.
David Parkin, Colin Kinnear and Rod Ashman have a keen look. Free kick in the ruck contest. It's going against Madden, and it'll be taken by Sean Wren, who I believe there was a lot of money put on this young man to win the Brownlow medal this year, along with Nathan Buckley. And the kick is marked there on the 50-metre line by Smart. Smart, who was probably a little underdone in the Foster's Cup matches, has certainly started this game in fine style. Nigel Smart from 50 metres gets good distance with the kick. It's going to hold up in the square. Modra, the mark at the back, nearly Tony Hall, forced through for a rush behind to Adelaide. Blues a bit fortunate. Silvani retrieves the football. Have another look. Hands were on it, couldn't quite bring it to the ground. Tony Hall appealing.
Well, Smart's had 2 possessions, and I don't really think that Hannah's been disgraced today. He's getting plenty of the football.
Silvani very, very short to Christo in the back pocket. Blues trailing by 8 points at the moment, kicking with a slight breeze. Neil Curley suggesting it's worth a goal. Wren went early, gives away a free kick. Madden at centre wing. He could forget his giant run in that semi-final at Waverley Park. Looks for Williams, cut off by Groom. Gleeson plays for a free, not paid.
Well, there's no doubt that Gleeson paid for the free kick, but he did it well and ended up getting pushed in the back.
And not getting it. Probably not as good last year as he was the year before in '92. McDermott to Bickley, getting some important touches. Smart and Hannah, juggled by Smart, very athletic, goes backwards to Groom. Hall's an option. Groom from 45 metres, lets loose and misses. And I reckon Hall will be disappointed. He was loose about 15 metres out, all alone, and Adelaide dominating, but not on the board at 4-4 to 3-1.
I think they call that peripheral vision, don't they? For a young fellow, Chris Groom, I think he might have been a little excited just to get the football onto his boot. The kick in has been marked by Gleeson. Went one way, then had to duck back and kicks it wide. Out in front of Bradley. Ben Hart. The kick okay. Wiedemann. Crows playing all over the Blues in this early part of the game. Wiedemann's kick to the square. Marking contest. Silvani from behind. Kick off the ground by that player. Goes close to the line. Bounces inside. Eventually over for a throw-in. Look at the fans out there. This ground is jam-packed.
Adrian Gleeson must do better with his kicks. He kicked that to the advantage of Ben Hart and gave Craig Bradley no chance. Bradley and Gleeson changing on the half-forward flank, being picked up by Hart.
Opportunity for Ratton, who's gathering possessions across half-back. Kick towards centre wing, over Bond's head, taken by Jamison. Handball goes to Rashudo. Rashudo's kick to half forward, out in front of Modra, which is where it should be. Good for the forward. Now that wasn't quite so good, but Modra runs on, attempted kick off the ground. Ineffective. McCormack is there. Hand pass to centre half back. Hannah goes straight across the ground. The Blues not all that progressive with their possessions, and it goes out of bounds at right half back. Carlton have taken it straight across the ground and gone forward about 15 metres.
Yeah, I don't think there was much wrong with the intent. It was just the disposal that let him down.
Betting Adelaide 3's on going in. Carlton 15 to 8. So the Crows hot favourites here. Remember, Carlton has won the only encounter at Football Park back in '91 in the corresponding game.
So I have the feeling Greg Williams just threw that one to the ground and perhaps was lucky not to be penalised himself.
Now called to play on. Goes out to Hogg at centre wing. Hogg with a tagging role, as you'd expect tonight, picking up McGuinness. Up to half forward. Oliver on a very long leg. Good hands. Great take. What do you call him, Gerard? The Coleman of the bush, don't you?
And for all those young blokes out there that have never heard of Coleman, John Coleman, one of the greatest names our sport has ever produced.
Oliver from about 65 or 70 metres. Good kick for distance. Wren in the front spot. Gee, Madden didn't do well enough then. Had to apply some pressure on Wren.
With you, Bruce. Gee, was feeble.
I think the legend of Coleman is that he came from Hastings on the Mornington Peninsula in Melbourne, and I think he kicked something like 10 goals in his first game of league football, and went on to kick many, many more, of course.
Wren having to go back. Might have been a dozen, Gerard, but we won't argue with you.
Well, I knew you'd know, Bruce.
Well, he did play for Essendon, and he, as Gerard said, a terrific champion.
So Wren from the back pocket, with Adelaide leading 4-4 to 3-1 in this exciting opening term. First of the Sunday night matches. Free kick going to Bond. Crow fans don't like it, and you're dead set right, Robbo. It is a full house now, after the fans have come in the last 4 or 5 minutes before the first bounce.
Well, Bond has the football, and his kick is a beauty. Oh, it's right on the line, helped over by Sean Wren for a rush behind of the Blues. Well, Bruce, I was told that all these seats are booked out. So what happens if the opposition crowd want to attract a few fans over here? They can't get a seat.
Oh, there must be an allocation, Robert. Ask me an easy one. McGuinness at half back.
Get a helicopter.
Centre wing. Wren. Also Groom. Taken by Brown. A second bounce. Up towards 50. Chips it away. Big play for Modra. Late in the first quarter. Read it beautifully. Silvani, unfortunate for him, caught out, and Modra able to take it on his chest in the end.
Well, the best Modra's done against Carlton is 2 goals, and he perhaps will beat that in the first quarter today.
Don't think any Crow players kicked more than 3 against Carlton in their 5 encounters to date, and Modra's lining up for his 3rd and puts it through. A big start for the big star at 5-4 to 3-2.
And I think a concern, Gerard, for the Blues must be that Heavers kicked their 3 goals. They're not getting much from across half forward, or Oliver doing okay.
Well, there's no question that they have wasted the ball up forward, but I just want to know why David Brown can't start on the ground. Every time I see him play, he's terrific. Now, because they made an early change, the Crows, and brought Visca off the ground, he's got an opportunity at the 10-minute mark. Usually sits on his backside until the second quarter, and he's come on and creating some goals for the Crows.
Well, the bounce in the centre, it's taken by Williams. Most players stood still there. Bradley receiving, handball over the top. O'Sullivan running. He's going to get run down. He may even bomb away now. He's got past the opposition and kicked a magnificent goal. Look, O'Sullivan, number 27, kicks his first goal. Carlton get their 4th, but they still trail by 8 points with a minute left in the first term.
Well, just have a look at this at value for quick centre bounce takeaways. Some slick handball there. Puts Rhino in some space, and if you have a bit of a look at him, you'll understand why. He puts his head down and charges forward, and that's magnificent execution.
And 2 of the champs setting it up, wasn't it? Williams and Bradley.
Wasn't a bad tap out by Madden either.
Well, 3 of them. 5-4, 3-2. Madden again. Wren maybe got his hand on that one. Williams is high ball. Williams starting to become a factor. Up towards the 50 metres. Good hands there by Lee. Excellent to Ricciuto. Ricciuto out wide. This game gathering momentum as we go towards quarter time. Koutafidis runs it out.
He did well. 1 against 2 there. He was 1 out. Anthony Koutafidis had to commit himself and was effective.
Well, I thought Carlton erred in the grand final last year when they elected to leave him out of the side. They were a little bit slow against Essendon, and he wouldn't have made the difference, of course, but his pace is going to be a big asset for Carlton this year.
The Blues have won 4 of the 5 encounters to date. It's early days in the history of these 2 clubs. Hart to Smart. Inside, well inside the last minute. Modra about to apply a lead. Smart looking for him. Now Modra goes. This could be the last play in the opening quarter. Modra goes early. Silvani with him. Hall tries to take it off the ground. Brown there. He'll come back towards Anderson. Brown goes to ground. Ratton ran him into it. They get on top of Ratton. It'll be a stalemate, and that should just about be it at 5-4 to 4-2.
McGuinness still trying to pick up Greg Williams. And what that means is that Mark Bickley's running free.
And after an entertaining opening term when Modra kicked 3 at one end and Heaver 3 at the other, it's Adelaide by 8 points, 5-4 to 4-2.
The ability of Groom, of Nigel Smart, and perhaps the intensity of the weed looks to be their biggest problem at the moment.
Start of the second term at Footy Park with Adelaide leading 5-4 to 4-2. Wren and Madden. Wren just won the tap. Tregenza barged forward, was able to get it across towards Anderson, who had a quiet opening term. So did his opponent, to fall forward in a hurry. Silvani in the front spot gets a free kick against Modra.
Bruce, we were talking about Anderson on the plane. I just wonder how long he's got left to become to remain a wingman. It's a position that requires a hell of a lot of running. He's 6'2", and I think he's going to finish his career on the half-forward line.
Jamison got it from McDermott, back to full forward. Silvani again. Modra took it off him. Silvani ripped it away. Good footy. Smart with an opportunity round the body. Not a good curl back at all. And it's a behind. Some good stuff there with Modra and Silvani.
A couple of good second efforts, wasn't it?
Excellent. Smart. A goal and now a point. 5-5, 4-2. 10 shots to 6.
Once again, the Crows using this zone defence. I think this is an area they can improve on.
Kick in, and mark nearly taken by Brown. Handball quickly to Williams. Williams onto the foot, and Gleeson in front of his opponent has marked just behind the centre circle. Sweeping hand pass wide for Bradley. Nearly caught by Anderson. Dispossessed. Still a chance. Little kick off the ground. Okay. Shepherd, no. Tregenza nearly got him. Gleeson tried to make it for Bond. It's going to be Ben Hart who'll come away. And the rebound now for the Crows could be very, very damaging for the Blues. Rashudo is wide on the wing. Handball over the top to his skipper and Chris McDermott. McDermott's kick along the half-forward area. Smart let it through. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Liptak not too happy, punching his hand there. And a boundary throw-in 54 metres from the Crows' goal. Deep in their right half-forward area. Madden over the top. Brown, hand pass to no one. He tried to nearly get his namesake in David Brown. Anderson, McGuinness hemmed in. Handball behind Bradley. Williams over the top. Bit of space for Bond. Can he get past? Bickley, no. Fraser Brown round the neck against Anderson. And he will get the free kick.
A lot of handball going on for both.
Not too happy.
A lot of handball for both sides. Robbo, that is coming unstuck because the pressure's been intense from both sides.
Ben Hart couldn't take the mark. Gleeson run down by Rashudo. And Sean Wren applies the tackle on Williams. Umpire Dennis Rich will bounce. The fans pretty excited. Not happy with that decision just a minute ago when Brown received the free kick for the Blues. Madden's tap on. Bond has got Rashudo. Ball spills for Tregenza. Good hand pass. Opens it up. Lee. Anderson, who loves to kick long. Goes straight towards goal. No mark. Brown, no. Punched through by Silvani. Rush behind to the Crows.
Is Carlton perhaps just overdoing the handball coming through the centre? And I think there's no doubt they're missing Stephen Kernahan, who gives them that focal point at centre half forward when he plays there. And they're not quite used to having to run the ball through the middle.
Silvani, as he's done often tonight, straight down the corridor.
It's been a hole there, hasn't it?
Yeah, and Brown able to fill it for the second time. Swings it out towards centre wing. Big flight at the back came from Jamison. Unable to take it. Sexton still playing up forward. Well done, Wren. Too smart. He's got Brown short if he wants him. Squeezes it towards that player, but Ratton
has been excellent tonight.
Lots of touches in the opening term, didn't he? I think 7 kicks and a couple of handballs. Wide towards Christo, who's now got the job on Hall. Kudafidi starting there, out of play. Left forward pocket for the Crows.
That's interesting. The Crows manning up around the centre have forced Carlton to come straight across the ground with 2 or 3 possessions, and I reckon they've even gone backwards.
But it is the way to play football park. You'll notice the Crows, that's the way they get the ball from defence to attack. They just swing it over. Usually Tregenza's on the end of it.
Ratton again getting another touch. Tregenza's having, I was going to say, a reasonable opening to the second quarter. Alvin put the pressure on, out of bounds on the fall. Warm night in Adelaide. Almost getting towards dusk time. It's going to be a beautiful night. Second half conditions for footy.
Wonder if it's time just to bring Oliver out to centre half forward when they're kicking him with the wind, and perhaps James Cook onto the ground for his first run at full forward.
Hannah received from Hogg. The kick towards the wing, and it was a little short. Sexton leading down there, but Wren was in front and has taken the mark. Is the hand pass away to Jamison. Jamison, a beautiful kick. This is no exception. In towards centre half forward. Hannah and Smart. Ball to the back. Tony Hall, hand pass. Fraser Brown tried to tap it behind for Christou. He's caught. Well, football going nowhere there. Neither forward nor back. So so the umpire will be forced to bounce.
Well, they haven't moved Oliver, but they have brought Peter Dean onto the ground. He's going to centre-half forward. Sexton hasn't worked there. And Carlton ringing the change. 50
metres from the Crows' goal. Down goes McGuinness. Well tackled, fairly, says the umpire. Williams tries to get through. Brown does successfully for the Crows. Handball wide for Bickley. Bickley might go for goal. Mark Bickley, lovely long kick over the top of Tony Hall and through for one behind. Bickley's first score for the evening.
Well, this is an important quarter for Peter Dean's football future. I think he's probably slowed down too much now to remain a backman. And he used to go on in league football. A centre-half forward or a half-forward flank perhaps is his only options left.
Any rule on whether the full-back takes too long to kick it back in?
Well, there is a rule.
Silvani's kick picked up by Tregenza. Little kick into the pocket. Hall into an open goal. Tony Hall doesn't miss. Not from there. Tony Hall kicks his first goal, and I don't like to be pessimistic, but the signs are not good for the Blues.
No, this is I'm sure this one will please Graham Corns no end, particularly when you get a goal from a rebounded kick out. It's most valuable, and I'm sure they've done a lot of work on that because that's been one of their problem areas for most of the Foster's Cup.
Six, 7 to 4-2, 1-3 for Adelaide in the opening minutes of this second quarter. Hall getting his first goal for the Crows in the home and away series. Big moment now for Carlton in this match. You just get the feeling that it's about to open up. They've got to hold firm here. Symbolic of domination when you do score a goal from a kick-in, isn't it?
13 scoring shots to 6.
And Heaver getting the first 3 goals for the Blues in that opening term. Bickley's quick kick away, quite effective with Smart in the front spot. Good mark against Hannah.
He's a key player. If he plays well, the Crows are a real chance to beat anyone. Centre half forward, such an important position on the ground.
Well, he's just a fair chance to kick it from here. It'll be a monster, but it's a thumping kick.
Got the breeze at his back, goes back, gives it a great ride. It's right there, hits the post. Halfway up, no problems at all with the distance. Well, I guess if you can have a champion full forward and a champion centre half forward, you've got some chance. If you've got Modra and Smart.
Well, your potential there is there, Bruce, to kick some sort of a score around 20 goals. If you can do that, well, you've got to be a chance to win most games of AFL football.
It's another thing we were talking about coming over was that the Crows need someone to kick 40 or 50 goals as their second leading scorer this year, whether it be Tony Hall or Nigel Smart. Madden from the kick-in takes the mark.
And just held up enough so that the Crows could man up back down the ground, and Scott Lee has taken the mark. Good awareness, gets it to Bickley. Bickley in short, probably, oh yes, it's good. Modra's lead, and the kick was beautifully weighted. I saw Madden between Modra and Bickley, but it was just a little too high for Justin Madden and perfectly placed on Modra's chest.
Yes, Bickley having an important role, and he's being allowed to get into it with the confusion that's reigning between Williams and Tony McGuinness, of course.
Modra for goal number 4. Lovely kick, goal. 4 goals to Modra. 1 each to Smart, Tony Hall and Chris McDermott, and the Crows lead quite comfortably early in the second term.
These Carlton have to do something about their midfield. I think Hannah may be an important key there if they can bring Michael Sexton back onto the ground, a centre half back, tidy up on Smart. That'll allow Hannah even to come out on as a ruck rover and give them some impetus, some quick running and some long kicking, some drive out of the middle.
7-8-4-2, Crows by 4 goals. Neil Curley.
Yes, this half-forward line of the Blues is just not working. They're just not getting it through at all.
Wren gets a good tap away for the Crows. Brown running onto it. Under great pressure, Wiedemann. Brown able to take it off him. That's David Brown. Wiedemann supplied the pressure. Hall went to ground. Silvani comes away. Out towards centre wing. O'Sullivan versus Lee, who's had a good match. Bickley's had 4 kicks in this term. Wiedemann back to Lee. Squeezes it round the body. Smart the target. Getting on top of Hannah. A terrific mark in the front spot. And again, there won't be a problem with the distance as we saw a couple of minutes ago. Even duel, I thought, in the first quarter, but Smart definitely on top in this term.
He was an All-Australian player, wasn't he, in his first year at centre-half back?
No, in back pocket, I think, Robbo.
Leans back, goes for it and puts it straight through. Well, Smart and Modra between them creating havoc now. And Adelaide have scooted away to 8-4-2.
Yes, he usually get out of the middle of the ground. Scott Lee doing quite well. But Nigel Smart makes the most of this with a big mark. I think Sexton is an important player now. He must come onto the ground to change that one over a bit.
Bounce to the centre, Wiedemann taken to the ground by McCormack. Madden gets the kick away. It's taken by Lee, who is having a good night. Scott Lee, wide, good kick. Bickley having an impact. Bickley, good kick, beautiful kick. It was a good lead, but by gee, the leads can be good, but the kicks can be ordinary, and that was absolutely perfect.
Bickley really exploiting Greg Williams' lack of pace. He can't cover the territory of Bickley. He's getting out in his zone, and he's creating some damage.
Modra for goal number 5. Looks pretty good. It's a goal. 5 goals to Modra. And it's all Adelaide in the first half of this second quarter. They now lead by 6 goals.
Because I think Greg Williams is going to have to take the centre bounces and then move out to the half-forward flank to play as a forward centreman, because the extra run and pace of the Crows through the middle of the ground is really proving a decisive factor. Boy, don't you look a better side, a faster side when you've got the ball, because last week the Crows looked terribly slow.
9-8-4-2. The Crows have kicked 4-4 without reply in the second quarter. McCormack tried to barge through. Williams with him will get a free kick over the shoulder.
And that's what he has to do, Greg Williams. He must get the ball probably at least 8 times a quarter to force the Crows to make Bickley man up on him.
It's his 10th touch in the match so far. He's had 5 and 5 to date. Liptak in the front spot. He's been given the role on Heaver. After Heaver kicked 2 early goals on Visca, Jamison, who's played very well. McGuinness to centre half forward. Smart right on top again. What a brilliant mark against Tanner, who did everything possible.
It's 4 marks in a row in a one-on-one contest, and Jared mentioned before that they've got to make a move. But the game's gone, isn't it?
Sexton, you'd reckon, wouldn't you?
Well, the game, I mean, Silvani's not doing any good down the other at the full-back position either.
Well, Smart lining up from 52 metres. And that one is given a hook and it's a behind. Bit of an anti-climax in the end. He's kicked 2-3. Well, you've got Sexton on the interchange bench.
And the runners right now out talking to Fraser Brown. He hasn't had too many possessions. Also had a talk to Greg Williams, and I'm sure that's perhaps just to get a bit of a G up. Carlton know that this game is in the balance right now. They can't afford to trail too much further behind by half-time. And the runner working overtime for the Blues.
Silvani looking for options. And
Matthew Robin there, Bruce, in the crowd, an interested onlooker for the Crows.
Much better defensive work rate, Robbo. Silvani's had 4 goes at this kick in, and eventually elects the safety going to Madden.
Well, Madden from behind, and the ball taken by Ratton. Has it gone out on the full? No, bounced just inside. So we'll have a throw in about 70 metres around from the Crows' goal.
What about the fluorescent armband on the umpire?
Well, you talk about games slipping away. The next 2 or 3 minutes could be very important. The Blues have got to get a goal back against the Tide. Brown's kick was ordinary. Look for Dean, it went over his head, and his fellow number 35, Jamison, is marked. In towards half forward, punched away. Gleeson behind Anderson. Anderson's little kick, a little too short. Out goes Silvani. Silvani pressured by Modra. Close to the boundary line. Good work by Modra.
Yes, Brown's gone into the middle. Fraser Brown into the middle now for Carlton. Greg Williams gone to the half-forward flank, being picked up by Ben Hart. And Tony McGuinness is still running over to Greg Williams. Surely he'll give that away.
half forward. Madden got his hands on it. Koutafidis and Groom over the top of it. Madden tried to get it away. Koutafidis finally getting it up towards centre wing. Wren, who's having a big match, as Neil Curley said, able to play his normal role tonight. Short pass. Bickley has been one of 3 big starts for Adelaide in the second term, along with Smart and Modra, and Rashuto goes long and blazes and misses everything to the right. It's really been Bickley and Smart and Modra early in this second term.
Rashuto very disappointed, Bruce. He's a better player than that, and not much pressure on, and to miss everything. Disappointing kick. Milhana. Gee whiz.
So much strife in the middle. Perhaps Carlton can look to their interchange bench.
They might have made a change already there, Gerard. Hannah back on Modra. Silvani out. Punched away by Wren. Bond, then Bradley. Bradley close to the boundary line. In all sorts of trouble. Forced to kick quickly.
They've turned around, haven't they, the Crows? They're the ones doing the bruising and applying the pressure this week, where last week they were certainly on the receiving end.
Bickley's kick high towards full forward. Ball to the back. Thank goodness the Blues have got Ratton. He's the only player that can hold his head high at the moment. Away to Silvani. Silvani's in the pocket. Handball over the top. Chris too had a few touches early in the game. Been pretty quiet since then. Kicks to a vacant. Right half forward area for the Blues. Back goes Lee. Heaver is there. Dispossesses Lee. Handball. Good play there by Liptak to Jamison. Jamison's sweeping handball was brilliant. Brown's on the end of it. Wide at left half forward. He kicks it in towards the goal front. Marking contest. Hall can't take it. Hannah overruns it. He's forced to kick quickly and fortunately lands with Ratton.
Geez, you're a hard judge, Robbo.
Regarding?
Your old Carlton mates.
Regarding?
Well, Hoover's done all right with 3 goals.
Madden takes it from Ratton, puts it on the ground in trouble. Hall to take it off him. Bickley there. Madden again, and Bickley off the ground. Clever. Hall running onto it. Waits and sits. Gets run down by Brown. McCormack to Brown, who's now playing in the centre. Brown deep in the back pocket, hugging the boundary line short. Bond flies and takes the mark at half back.
Gleason's come down to the wing, Bruce, to replace Brown.
Bond's kick up to the wing. Oh, good fly at the back and taken by Jamison, who's having a very good match. Such a skillful player. In short to Rasciuto. Leading goal kicker Jamison in the first season with the Crows in '91. Rasciuto's kick towards Hall. A fumble by Hall. Adelaide had all the numbers there. Had Hall been able to take it cleanly. Gets a second go. Smart, clever. From 60 metres to the goal square. Modra and Hannah. It's bouncing. It's a behind. Smart's a good player, isn't he? I mean, even the kick then, under some pressure, got the distance. Was right there. And now rushed through. 9-10, 4-2.
19 scoring shots to 6, and I think that's a fair indication of the flow of the game, particularly in the second term.
Sexton preparing to come onto the ground.
Hannah kicks in. Goes well outside 50 metres. Marking contest between Silvani and Anderson. Taken away by Lee. Short kick. McDermott could kick another goal. McDermott, lovely long kick, gets the distance and the accuracy. McDermott's second goal. It's all Adelaide in the second term, and the Crows fans have got plenty to cheer about. There's still 8 minutes with the breeze at their back. They lead 10-10 to 4-2.
Well, this is a bit of a rout at the moment, and if it continues, we're in for a clinic in the second half, and we've seen plenty of those at Football Park. Carlton certainly throwing their side around. Carlton finally have moved Stephen Oliver up the ground. He's come into the ruck. Justin Madden off the ground, and Michael Sexton's been moved to full forward.
Oliver gets a touch straight away, but it's taken away by Anderson. Anderson for the Crows. Good long kick to left half forward. Smart. Probably thought he got his hands on that a little too easy. Again gets around onto his right foot, kicks in towards full forward. The ball bouncing to the goal front. Modra gets back, so does Chris do, and it's forced over for a rush behind.
Well, Robert, the thing I can't believe is that Carlton are playing as if Stephen Kernahan is on the ground. They're continually bombing the ball, even in defence. And Carlton's half-forward line is the biggest half-forward line in AFL football. They're getting thrashed in the air, but they continually bomb the ball in the air.
Kudafidi's very wide, forced to go wide. Takes a long time to get rid of it. Anderson running back. It's lifted in this quarter. Free kick to Bond. Crow fans don't like it. The Crows in this term has kicked 5-7, and the Blues haven't scored. And haven't really looked like scoring.
Have they been over the centre?
Well, they've got to half forward a couple of times. McCormack to Ratton. Ratton up towards centre half forward. Tregenza and Alvin. Tregenza back. Good juggling mark. Not. Yes, it is paid.
Top mark from Tregenza.
Vision was very good earlier when he got it to Hall. Now Hart running off him. Hasn't had much to do in this term. David Brown, who's had some impact since coming on early in the match. To centre half forward, not quite far enough for Smart this time. McCormack able to fill the hole, comes out wide. O'Sullivan and Lee go together. Good hands by O'Sullivan. Kicked a brilliant goal in the opening term. It's the last time Carlton has scored.
Lee was good there.
Held him up beautifully, didn't he?
My word, he did.
O'Sullivan just backward of the centre wing. Up towards half forward. Good mark by Dean. Gee, Dean and Sexton on the forward line. You wouldn't have read about that halfway through last year, would you? Alvin towards Sexton, who goes early. Bond with a chance. Twist turns back to Gleeson. He's got Bradley short. He chips it. Bradley will run onto it. Waits for it. Normally very clever in this situation. Gets around Rashudo. You wouldn't give him a chance really from there. And Wren gets back and takes the mark and gives it to Liptak in the back pocket.
Took that over the line for a behind. Surely Liptak's kick towards centre wing. Might be scrounging, but a behind it for Carlton would have been better than no score. Bickley's on centre wing. Bickley, plenty of possessions. Long kick towards half forward, running back with the flight of the ball is Christou. Wiedemann gathers. Goes to Groom, but he takes it over for a boundary throw-in. Free kick.
Tell you what, Robbo, if you keep that and say that Carlton should get a point like that, they'll be talking about you on Adelaide radio tomorrow.
Fairly soft free kick. The ball at half-back, Ratton. Doing well, hand pass away. Oliver, centre half back, kicks in towards the centre. Williams at the back, kicks quickly, under pressure. A fumbling kick up towards Sexton. Confidence must be at a very low ebb, and Rouvray holds it in. Umpire will be forced to bounce.
Just throw one in for you, Gerard. A stat: Carlton's the only team that Adelaide hasn't beaten at Football Park in its history.
Which is only 3 and a bit years old.
And about 2 quarters away.
Rouvray under pressure. Sexton applies the tackle. Ball spills for Ben Hart. In the pocket, but he's able to find space and then kicks well. Liptak has marked just a few metres further away, but certainly an important possession there. Bickley over the top with a hand pass. Goes to McDermott. McDermott at right half back. He's kicked towards half forward. At the back, Smart. No, he leaves it for the youngster. Groom is marked. Away for McGuinness. McGuinness looks upfield. Kicks out in front of Tony Hall. He slips over. Did he? No, he was tripped. Christou not happy. Hall takes the free kick 50 metres from goal.
Luke O'Sullivan coming off the ground. James Cook on for his first run in senior football.
With his socks down, great indication that you're as keen as mustard. Pull your socks up, son. You've just come off the bench. Tony Hall, 50 metres from goal.
What would Blighty say?
Carlton going ordinarily, 4-2, trail the Crows. 10 goals, 11, and Tony Hall a chance to make it 11-11. Hall has kicked one. Beautiful kick by Hall. He's kicked his second. Well, 11-11 to 4-2, 51 points. The Crows' advantage. Did fall over.
Yes, it was a bit soft, wasn't it? But gee, you've got to admire this bloke. We gave him a bag last week and wrote him off. But once again,
because you put 200 on Adelaide.
once again, he comes back and shoves it up the critic's nose.
Adelaide 11-11, 77. Carlton 4-2, 26.
Oh, that's what you want.
He got crunched.
Well, that's what Carlton need. They need somebody to start doing the bruising because they've been on the receiving end the whole night.
Great stuff, Bickley.
Watch this on replay, sir.
McCormack and Brown.
Play was allowed to go on. Advantage given to Adelaide. Christou coming through the centre. Bickley tried to put one on him. Oliver breaks a tackle. Streams up towards full forward. Sexton in a wrestling match in the front spot. Unable to take it away. Heaver, who kicked 3 goals in that opening term, looking for some magic. He has it taken away. Liptak, who might have found a spot in the back pocket, goes short and gets to Wren. Wren to McGuinness. Sweeps it out wide to Jamison. Jamison normally constructed. This is a very good kick. Gives both Bickley and Hall a run in it. Hall gaining in confidence. Goes into the pocket. Modra the target. What's happened here? Free kick against Hannah for hanging on. And that's probably the best symbolism you've ever seen of the third umpire system, because had there only been 2, he wouldn't have been close enough to see what obviously went on.
Well, they used to ignore them half the time. They did see them and they didn't bother paying them, but now it's in vogue, this business, and full forward's getting a free run, although it doesn't seem to help the on-ball players. It gets scragged and tagged. I haven't seen Tony McGuinness get a free kick. It's a classic example of lining up for the check side.
Modra going for goal number 6. So 5-2 to Modern, 1 out of bounds on the full.
Are we allowed to elaborate about the third umpire?
Go your hardest. 11-12, 4-2.
For fear of sounding very, very critical, it's an easy way of getting a few $100s, isn't it? Sitting back there and making decisions on guys who are striving like blazers for their team. They're underdone, 4-2 to 11-13 or something, and a little tiggy touch would grab at the jumper, gives a bloke a free shot at goal. I think it's absolute bludgerism, if there's a better word of explaining it.
Did you have a good look at it, Robbo? Did you? It was a long
ridiculous,
way away.
absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, the football's on centre wing and the marker's been taken by Jamison.
He's true blue, Bruce, isn't he?
No, it's not that. It goes one team or the other. It evens itself out, but I reckon they're ordinary decisions. Brown goes into Scott Lee. Lee now, direct towards goal. Full forward. Hannah in front this time. No free kick. Away goes Christou. Christou in the left back pocket, in trouble. Tries to get the hand pass away. Gets it to Silvani. Silvani's kick goes outside 50 metres. Heaver's in trouble. Lip tack was good. Still got the hand pass away. Bradley gets back. Hand pass gives away a few metres. Silvani bombs back towards the wing. No one home. Rashudo in front of Bond. Rashudo's hand pass. Bickley goes to ground. Heaver got him. Heaver looking for the free kick. Umpire having nothing of that, will bounce.
8 kicks for Bickley in this quarter and 3 handballs. He's had 12 and 4 to date. 11-12 to 4-2 the score here at Football Park. It's been an avalanche for the Crows in the second term. Wren all too easy towards full forward. Hannah and Hall going at it. Hannah went hard. Christou clever. Well done. Took it with one hand, then goes out wide with a good kick to Bond, who's been forced to play very wide and very deep in this term. Bond from half back. Carlton just looking for a score before half-time. Anything would do. Now Jamison off hands. Back towards Bond. Juggle. Couldn't take it. Bickley got a hand on it cleverly to Anderson. A quick kick to half forward. A running ball and out of play. He's had a better term, Anderson. Now 6 kicks. It's all opened up on this beautiful night. Absolutely perfect conditions. Hot day in Adelaide. Expected low 19 degrees tonight. Silvani going for a free kick and gets it. Coming back to Stephen Silvani, who started on Modra. And Modra with 5 goals, clearly winning that battle. And Silvani now moved up the ground.
Well, I've settled down a bit, Bruce, now, so we'll get on with the football commentary. Silvani's kicking towards half-back. Too high for McCormick, but he made something of it. Handball over the top, Ratton. Ratton's kick quickly towards half-forward. Sexton couldn't quite take the mark. Liptak goes back. Taps it to his own advantage, and then it came up for him. Rashudo just arrogantly crashes his way through, kicks towards half-forward. Over the top of the players' heads, Groom and Koutafidis. Diving was McCormack. Getting the ball clear, maybe the advantage now with the Blues. Silvani, the free kick was going back to McCormack. Silvani's kick. In short, Tregenza. Not really a good kick.
Well, where they've been in fault all night, Carlton, they have burst away, but their poor disposal has let them down, and that's due credit to the Crows, who've really put the pressure on up forward.
Good footwork there by Tregenza, gave himself some space and then delivered magnificently. Mogra from 45 metres.
Well, I've been critical of Tregenza many times for his kicking, but on that occasion, give him credit. There was a pinpoint pass right on the chest of Tony Modra. It's something I'm sure he's worked at. And if he can do this more consistently, he'll be a 50% better player.
Modra's kick 5. Carlton have not added to their quarter-time score. And Modra has slaughtered the Blues with another goal. So right on half-time, Tony Modra kicks his 6th goal. And Adelaide, much to the pleasure of their fans who rise as one, Modra coming off with 6 goals. He could be the PM here, Bruce. Would that be fair enough?
Definitely the Premier. They've kicked 7 goals, 8 in that quarter, Adelaide. And Carlton was scoreless. The team that played off in the grand final last year for the biggest prize, unable to score in that second term. The game was really opened up. Hannah slaughtered really by Smart. And at half-time, Adelaide all over the top of Carlton. It's 12-12 to 4-2.
Barney to full forward for Carlton. Williams back in the centre, as is Oliver.
And Oliver doing the ruck work against Wren. Try and go with his mobility. Holt tries to get a kick out of the centre square, unable to do so. Wiedemann puts his hand up, looks for a free kick.
Christou come out onto Nigel Smart, been a big problem for them. And look at Wayne Wiedemann, the Wiedemann Wolf. Under these conditions, I'd be surprised to see him grow some hair and some long teeth.
Well, the hair's pretty long.
I mean, facial hair.
Okay, quick kick by Alvin. You got a comment on that,
We'll
Robbo?
have Soapy here soon, Bruce.
Young fella having his first touch there was James Cook getting it towards full forward, and
Silvani.
free kick being paid. Now, Silvani gone to full forward. Can kick a heap of goals, Silvani. He's kicked 10 in the past. And ridden into the ground, and Silvani from 40 metres out has missed it, given it a hook, and that's Carlton's first score since the opening turn. Scoreless in that second quarter.
And Sexton onto Modra, and Tony Hall standing right beside the point post is getting picked up by Peter Dean.
So big changes from David Parkin, as you would expect. It's Rouvray up to centre wing. Good grab by Brown, who's been effective since coming on. 5 kicks, 3 handballs in the first half.
Brown plays on quickly. A high kick towards half forward. Punch back towards the centre. Brown, that's Fraser Brown to McCormack. McCormack's kick. And it's been marked at the back there by Bond. Now, somehow Bond was on his own there. So the Adelaide Crows not manning up quite as efficiently as they did in the first half. Good kick, good pass. Silvani dropped it. Tregenza gets back. Handball chopped off by Alvin. Quickly onto his boot. Alvin, it's going to stop in the square, and Scott Lee gets back very quickly. Went for the kick, then hesitated, able to have time to gather his senses, and his kick has been marked by Anderson at half-back. Gets it away to McDermott. McDermott looking for the hand pass, and eventually gives it away. McGuinness, a little too tight there, but McGuinness was able to get it to Bickley. Back to Tregenza. Tregenza with that familiar bounce, and the kick in towards the right forward pocket. Sexton back where he came, he won the best and fairest, I think, at Carlton last year, Gerard, didn't he? Or second?
Second in front of Greg
Williams.
Williams.
And he played most of his football back in that key defensive role.
Braddle's won it, mate. He won his third. Craig Bradley.
There's a lot of comment about Greg Williams coming third at Carlton.
Being a favourite for the Brownlow medal, but it was Bradley, Sexton and Williams at the Blues last year. Here's Fraser Brown, sweeping left-hand handball to Hogg, run down by McGuinness, just got a quick away. Wren's been excellent. McDermott to Hart to Rasciuto. The build-up, Rasciuto in a bit of trouble, but good kick towards Modra. Sexton had a couple of grabs. Modra tapped it down towards Brown. Oh, not a bad kick round the body by Brown. Gives Hall a chance, uses the hip and shoulder, gives away a free kick. Lucky about that third umpire, Robbo, right there on the spot to have a look.
Yeah, well, that looked pretty obvious, didn't it? If the player there bounces the other player out of the way, outside 5 metres, it's a free kick, but it's not a Tiggy Touchwood grab of the jumper. Here's Mitchell, wide to Alvin. Alvin nearly run down, but he's able to get clear, and he's kicked down near the wing. Bickley at the back of Bradley, and Bickley was effective. Rasciuto sees it over. And it's Eugene Warrior, the 17-year-old that was drafted by the Adelaide Crows in
their only draft pick
November last year. Centre wing, ruck contest. Wren looking very, very fit. Rasciuto taken down by Oliver, and the umpire will call for a bounce. Matthew Robert also an interested onlooker, and that's Stuart Wigney in the background, also on the Crows list. So we'll have a bounce on, well, it's just forward of centre wing in Carlton's attacking half. They've added just one behind in this third term. Wren and Oliver. Comes down to McDermott. Gets the hand pass away. Picked up by Brown, away for Bradley. Bradley forced to kick quickly off the left foot. High towards half forward. Cook nearly. Liptak caught. Got the hand pass away. McGuinness, some space. Out to Liptak. And Liptak should clear for the Crows.
Gee, I just wonder about him, Gerard. They might have found a back pocket there as Hart goes away. With a third bounce. Modra waiting, still hasn't made his move. Now he goes. Chip pass, Sexton all over the top of him. Opportunity for Ratton, who had a lot of kicks in the first quarter and a half. Hannah, good mark on his chest.
I thought Ben Hart a little bit Modra conscious there. It was only a 25-30 metre kick. It could have gone long to a Nigel Smart or Tony Hall as the secondary full forward. They've got to get out of that habit a little bit, the Crows, if they're to go on, take that next step. Must bring another forward into play.
Alvin A little push at the back by Jamison went unnoticed. Mitchell has had very little influence. Bickley, who was magnificent in the second quarter, really set the Crows up. McGuinness had it ripped away. Free kick to Brown. McGuinness riding him into the ground.
If that's any indication of Carlton's spirit in the second half, what Fraser Brown did there, maybe they could make some sort of a resurgence.
Brown's kick to centre half forward. Wren in the slot.
He's kicked it to Wren, to Rashudo, and to Chris McDermott, and Greg Williams, a midget, was standing underneath him.
Wren swings it out wide, gives it Tregenza at half back.
Tregenza's kick in towards the centre. Good mark, Rashudo. Very, very good player, just 18 years of age. Just behind the centre, no one on the mark, so he gets an extra 5 metres and kicks it to the 50-metre line. No mark taken there. Ball to be gathered by Dean. Gets it to Koutafidis. Was it legal? Koutafidis down towards the wing. Mark is taken by Bond. He's had 5 or 6 possessions. In towards half forward. That could be a push in the back against Rouvray to Silvani. Rouvray not happy.
Rouvray should be just counting his lucky stars he's playing tonight, because David Pittman was selected to pick up Stephen Oliver. Pittman, of course, 189 centimetres. It was only that he turned an ankle, I think it was, at training, that Rouvray was recalled from the local competition and gets another opportunity.
Well, Stephen Silvani, who's usually not bad at kicking goals, he missed one just a few minutes ago, and this one he's kicked across the face. Cook has taken the mark, but it may have been over the line for one behind, kicked by Stephen Silvani. So the Blues just 2 points added to their half-time score. They're 4-4. And they trail dismally. The Crows 12-12. Wren, Heaver, but Wren, gee whiz, that's rubbing salt into the wound. Ben Hart kicks it to Wiedemann.
Pinpoint passing.
The Weed from centre wing, up to half forward. Smart in the front spot. Christou goes with him. Smart, the big winner in the second quarter. Very good kick under pressure, right to the goal square. Tony Hall on his chest. Gee, some good footy there, Jared. A smart kick under pressure to get it to the spot.
Well, it started with good work from Wren. Most players are instructed to knock the ball over. He knew it was a 2-on-1 situation. Down deep in their half-back flank. Got the ball to Ben Hart, who pinpointed it, finished with Hall. Great goal to the Crows.
3 to Hall. Crows with just 4 goal scores, which I think is significant. It's 13-12 to 4-4. We've talked tonight about support for Modra, somebody else standing up and kicking 40 or 50 goals. Maybe it'll be Hall, maybe it'll be Smart.
Well, I'd like to ask Jared that, if you're a coach of a team, do you like to have the goals spread amongst players so that it's more difficult for the opposition to cover?
Well, I think that's one theory, and certainly that's a successful one. But I think the way the Crows play with their runners up the ground, it's going to be difficult. Is with Tony McGuinness doing a lot of running up in the middle of the ground. He's not a great goal-kicking rover. They don't get many goals from their wings, so they're not ever going to have a lot of goal kickers, the Crows, but they certainly need a Hall to bob up with the 30, 40 or 50 goals, as we've suggested already tonight.
Well, the Blues have got it clear from the centre through Williams. He got it to Cook, and Cook kicks towards full forward. Not a bad kick. Puts it on Silvani's chest out in front of Rouvray. So Silvani, after starting the third quarter at full forward, will have his third shot for goal, and the quarter is just 6 minutes old. At this stage, he's kicked just 2 behinds. Stephen Silvani, this is a much better kick. It is a goal. Silvani kicks his first goal, and for Carlton to say that was badly needed would be the understatement of the evening. 13-12 Adelaide, 5-4 the Blues.
Well, as this goal progresses on camera, I'll just run through a couple of matchups after half-time. Oliver is now on Wren, as he was at the end of the second quarter. Bickley is picking up Craig Bradley. McGuinness is still with Hogg. McDermott and Williams are now in the centre of the ground. Fraser Brown has moved back out onto the wing on Anderson. Tregenza and Elvin maintaining the status quo.
13-12 Adelaide, 5-4 Carlton. Quick kick by Peter Dean out towards half forward. Bond, who's looked all right. He's had 7 kicks and a few handballs. Bradley gives it back to Bond. Bond, normally a long kick as we've seen so far. Lip tack getting back. Oh, good grab. One of the best games I've seen him play.
He's been a revelation tonight, Bruce, hasn't he, down there?
Gee, Rouvray takes his time. Nearly run down. Kicks it to the space.
This will be interesting.
Jamison has to go hard. Makes it. Left-hand handball, good to Wiedemann. Back to Jamison. Jamison towards Modra, wobbly, gets through him, going to ground. Carlton player Sexton looks more comfortable back there, doesn't he? Back to the centre square. Bickley came through very strongly against the odds. McGuinness tries to break the Bradley tackle. Tregenza a quick kick, playing a good game. Groom sweeps a handball. Wiedemann caught, goes, holding it.
Good tackle by Oliver.
Excellent tackle, and Wiedemann desperate to get to his left foot all the time, and a very good kick by Christou finds Williams at centre wing.
Now, Williams usually uses a football pretty well, and he's waiting for it to set up in towards half forward. No mark, that's a free kick. Must come back because there's no advantage for the Crows. A free kick to be taken by McDermott against Bradley.
Wasn't a great deal of options there for Williams, but still on the finish. Pretty ordinary kick.
Again, no one minding the mark, so McDermott gathers 10 metres. The kick goes over the top of the players at half forward for the Crows. Kudafuti's a first fumble, but it's able to get back. His kick is smothered by Smart. It rebounds. Ratton close to the line, gives away a hand pass down the boundary line. Goes over in front of Greg Williams. Boundary throw in right half forward for the Crows.
I just wonder about the future of Justin Madden. I know I've said it before, but with Stephen Oliver, he is just so mobile and talented through the middle of the ground. When Kernahan comes back, I wonder whether they'll go with all three.
Well, the ruck contest, it's forced clear, close to the line. McGuinness gives it to Bickley. Bickley's on centre wing, near the players' interchange area. Casually kicks the ball to half forward. Smart, very intelligent, got rid of Christou. Christou was quick. Nigel Smart was a little quicker. Wiedemann there to give him a hand. Wiedemann's kick, pretty good. Goal of the night. No, it's not, it's missed. By gee, it looked pretty good through the air, but just drifted off to the left.
13-13 to 5-4. Weed's first score. He's only kicked 8 goals in 37 matches. Out wide goes to Alvin. 91 to 34 the scoreboard. 26 shots, Adelaide to 9. Williams back towards Alvin. Hall putting some pressure on him. Gee, bad play there by the Blues. Smart and Christou. Christou, good fly from the back. Hock tries to break the McGuinness tackle. McGuinness very late in throwing him down. A bit frustrated there.
Would have liked to see the disposal up close.
Hogg, short. Mitchell, is this his first kick? Might be. Out of the half-back, up towards centre wing. Went early, Rasciuto. Bond stayed down. Hannah tries to pave away. Ridden into the ground by Rasciuto. Bond goes for a little duck on the head. Sweeps a handball to Williams. Williams tries to break the Wren tackle. Just puts the ball on the ground, hoping that a Carlton player was running there. Lee looks for a free kick. Ball still to be won. Williams clever. Then finally gets it to Bond. Bond to kick his first goal in AFL and does it. Crow fans unhappy. They reckon there was a free kick there somewhere. Maybe.
Well, it's extraordinary, Bruce. The Crow fans are calling for a throw, as we all know. They've got a patent on the Crow throw here in Adelaide. Have a look at this. It was definitely a tap on. The first give was smothered. Mitchell goes down. Perhaps that was a free kick. Here it is from Williams. There's the first one, and then a punch. No throw. Good goal.
Well, you mentioned Barry Mitchell, Bruce. He's had 1 kick and 3 hand passes, and pretty quiet night for Barry Mitchell. Kick forward by Bickley, could be classified as ineffective. Kudafuti's in trouble. Now the advantage is with the Carlton. Mitchell kicks the ball towards half forward. No mark taken. Ball rebounds. Heaver wasn't bad in that contest. Silvani rebounds for Bond. Bond, a little kick, good vision, and a marks. Well within scoring distance. Look to run on. Will he be asked to play on?
I think the umpire called time on, Robbo, so that's why it wasn't play on.
Fair enough. So Hannah, who started at centre-half back on Smart, had a spell at full-back on Modra, shoots for goal in the 3rd term for Carlton. Magnificent conditions at Football Park. A high kick by Hannah. It's close. It's a behind. Goals for Carlton coming from Heaver, 3. 1 each to Silvani, Bond and Luke O'Sullivan.
6-5, 13-13. Carlton doing better in this 3rd term after that whitewash in the 2nd quarter. Alvin punched forward by the Crows, missed by Ratton. Tregenza just touching on the back. Alvin again had a pretty good 1st term. Bradley, that ineffective, trying to break through. Now Bradley again, quick high kick up towards centre-half forward. Lee underneath it. Silvani tried to take it on his chest. Liptak has been excellent. Brown to Liptak. through the centre. Watson, he doesn't start in the back pocket at Subiaco next week. Or Smart just took his eye off it. He's made very few mistakes. He's got time to get back. Modra now provides the lead. He chips it out in front of him. Modra still out towards the 50. Running it towards the boundary. Sexton with him. Sexton, a dour defender. What a great job he did in the final series for Carlton last year. Now Williams. Got some touches in this term. Hobb, quick handball. Missed by Christou. Taken by McGuinness. Probing. Kick the full forward. Modra's fly. At the back, Dean paves his way through. He was the unlucky player in the grand final last year. Missed out with that injury. Mitchell's handball okay. Carlton playing with a lot more spirit as Bradley goes to full forward.
And not a bad kick either. Cook probably should have grabbed that, but he was put under lots of pressure by the Adelaide Crows defence, and they get clear. It finishes with Ben Hart. His short kick is marked by Anderson. Anderson, centre wing for Adelaide. They lead 13-12 to 6-5. Anderson's kick to right half forward. Punched away by Dean, but it rebounds for Wiedemann. Wiedemann quickly onto his left foot. Kicks to the front of the goals. Modra, he's got it. It's a mark. He had a grab of it first and brought it down. What an exciting player Tony Modra is. Let's hope he can withstand all the problems that he's got over here in Adelaide. Terrific player of AFL football. He's kicked 6.
Craig Bradley giving him a bit of lip behind to distract him somewhat.
I don't think he would have heard anything. He shoots the goal and puts it straight through the centre. 7 goals to Modra, and the Crows bounce back 14-13 to 6-5. They lead by 56 points, and the margin at half-time was 58.
Jared, have we seen a more exciting group of 4-4s? Jakovic 8-8 today, Dunstall, Lockett, Ablett, Modra, Sumic, they go on and on.
Well, they said that the 70s were the halcyon days of the full forwards with the likes of Wade and Hot Lips himself, Peter McKenna, Hudson, of course, Jezelenko. But I think we've got a better group today, Bruce.
14-13 to 6-5. Wren down to Bickley. Adelaide starting to gain momentum again now after a slow start to the second half. Christou out wide, looking for Williams, outnumbered. McDermott tried a one-hander. McGuinness against the flow. Rasciuto round the body. Back towards centre wing. Wiedemann still with the wing. Good hip and shoulder by an Adelaide player. Bickley to pave the way. Short pass on to Lee, rebounding. Gets around a player. He's got players running. Goes towards Modra, who's kicked 7. Sexton gets back. Hall for his 4th. Couldn't quite make it. Christou gets it. They all overrun him. Christou's slow handball effective though. To Alvin. Back to Christou. Christou sweeps a long handball. Oliver went down on one knee. Not a good tactic. Smart could make him pay. Oliver, the athlete, runs him down. Groom goes to ground. Still Carlton in there fighting. Smart gets through. Goes through it and misses it all.
And back at the ranch, Gleeson has come onto the ground for Brent Heaver. Heaver had a magnificent first quarter. There he is on screen.
3 for 3, wasn't it?
Hasn't had a sniff since. Peter Shotman there, one of the fitness guys for Carlton.
You had him in the best players when I said they only had one player to hold their head on.
10 minutes into the second.
Oh, come on, Jared, give us a break.
Gee, Robert,
Wren,
You can't take
they
those things.
trail on the scoreboard 14-13 to 6-5. I don't think we need to say much more.
Get the
Wren
blood pressure pills
has
there,
the
Bruce.
football on centre wing. He's kicking towards the half-forward line. Easy chest mark taken by Hall, but he may be too far out to score. The breeze has dropped significantly. He goes in short, and the big man has done some good running there. All the way down from centre wing, and he's got the football in the right forward pocket.
Another change for Carlton. Milhana has gone to the wing on Greg Anderson. Fraser Brown to half forward. They're trying to restructure themselves to get some bite, but it's all the answers of the Crows.
Fantastic performance by Wren. 10 marks. He kicks in towards half forward. The ball goes to the back. Tregenza taps onto McGuinness. Was it all clear? Yes. McGuinness, lovely kick on the run as a goal. So McGuinness becomes the Crows' 5th goal kicker. Modra has kicked 7. And the Crows go marching on. We have another look at Wren.
Well, I didn't like the kick, Robert. I know it's resulted in a goal. Bit fortuitous there from the flip up from Tregenza. But that's most dangerous, kicking it to there.
16-13 to 6-5 in the centre square. Neil Curley, can you hear me? Who's come on for the Crows? There was a big roar.
Yeah. Well, Jar's pretty popular out here.
It's taken you a while to get him on the ground, Knuckles.
Render full forward. Modra gets the tie with a couple against him. Ratton just letting you in on in-joke. Neil Curley's forever wanting Jarman out on the ground. And he's finally got him out there halfway through the third quarter. Wouldn't have he enjoyed himself tonight, Jarman, with the flow that's been going on with the Crows on top.
He's gone to the forward flank, Bruce. Being picked up by Brett Ratton, who has been, as Robbo has so rightly pointed out, one of the few goers for Carlton. David Brown getting a bit of instant instruction from the coaching panel via the phone.
Bickley, centre wing. Being one of the Crows' very best. Hall at the back, Smart at the front. Trying to run onto it was Mitchell. To Ratton, to Koutafidis, who might have got his hand first on the ball. Koutafidis just takes on Groom, but then gets into trouble. Alvin surpriser, hip and shoulder. Jarman comes in. Free kick against Jarman. High tackle on Koutafidis.
Neil Curley mentioned last week about the blue-collar team, Essendon, working very, very hard during a game of football. Obviously, they did yesterday. But by gee, they'd have to be working very hard to exceed the work level or ethic of the Crows this evening. They've been fantastic. Jarman, who's just come onto the ground, gets it to Wren. They share it beautifully. Down to McDermott. McDermott's kick, and look at the way he got on the end of that, Modra. He made that a good pass. Wonderful effort by Modra. And he's well on the way to another 100-goal season, Tony Modra.
Well, Jarman to McDermott, how often do you see those two combine over the years? State of Origin games have torn us Victoria apart dual-handedly, if that makes sense. And now the focal point to Modra.
Modra, 8 goals.
Well, if you had a bet who'd be the leading goal kicker after the first round, Dunstall got 9 yesterday in 3 quarters. Jakovic 8 today. Modra's got 8.
He was a short price favourite, Modra, I think, from reference to the National Sportsbook odds. You mentioned earlier about the odds for Adelaide being what they were 2s on or 3s on or something.
15 to 8
well, this man was a very short price favourite to win the goal kicking for this round.
Well, you'd want to be on him at the moment, wouldn't you?
Even shorter price for Mark of the Year.
16-13 to 6-5. Wren gets his hands on it. Jarman tried to get it to McGuinness. Wren goes through. She picking the 3-2-1's going to be difficult for Sportsworld on this one, as Anderson goes out wide. Hall in the front spot. No free kick given then. Going after it hard was McCormack. Hall holds him up. Good contest between the two of them.
Well, from my perspective, Bruce, picking the BOG is already over and done. I don't take much notice of what happens from now on. The game's completely over with a 10-goal victory plus coming up to the Crows, one would imagine. So those that have got them there when the game was there to be won will get the votes.
Bradley taps it forward. Hog over the back of McGuinness. Williams trying to hip and shoulder. McDermott, just a little one, gets to Groom. Too far out to score. Modra provides a lead.
Promising player, Chris Groom. That kick let himself down a little bit, but Modra able to gather. Gets to Anderson for 50 metres. Loves kicking goals. Kick smothered. Blues get out of trouble. Christou handball to Hannah. Hannah's at left half back. Handballs in towards the centre of the ground. Sexton. Nice kick to centre half forward. Williams makes something of it. Looks to give the hand pass away. Does so to Hogg. Hogg goes for goal and pops it through. Goal Carlton. Matthew Hogg, one of his rare goals, I would suggest, for the Blues after crossing from Footscray as a defender, and he gets Carlton's goal. Have another look. Sexton's kick. Williams did well here. Pressure was applied by McGuinness, then eventually went one way, then the other, and Hogg steadying, shot for goal. Very good result.
They only kicked 4 goals last year for the Blues, Robbo, so you're right. Doesn't get up there too often.
7-5 to 16-13 at Football Park. This match to complete the opening round. And what a round it was, with some thrillers on Saturday and a big match today at the MCG. Christou goes after it with Smart. Adelaide have been terrific out of the centre square for most of the night.
Well, what about the punch from Random? It was worthy of a 40-metre kick. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why Justin Madden will reappear. His work in the middle of the ground, and particularly at centre-half bounce, boundary throw-ins, I should say, is quite superb.
A fresh-looking Nigel Smart and a rather weary-looking Ange Christou could tell a story, Bruce.
It's like a 1500-metre race at the Olympics. The winner can run a lap of honour on thin air, and the losers are lying on the ground, aren't they?
You call that adrenaline, maybe?
I think it's got something to do with it, don't you? Half forward, Crows in attack, 109-47. Mitchell, no free kick. He's had a couple of touches in this quarter, but no effect really on the game. Tregenza off the ground, Hannah getting back. Had the job on Smart early, goes to Christou. Christou looking for someone up forward. Swings away onto his left foot. Centering kick straight to Wren. Good mark in the end. Pressure coming from Cook. He's pretty aggressive, young fella.
I'm not sure he's the answer at centre-half forward, though, Bruce, although the Blues really, I guess, just now in experimentation mode.
I'd like to throw you at centre-half forward for Carlton at the moment. I don't think you'd battle for a kick, do you, Jared?
Wouldn't want to do that.
Jamison to Wiedemann, 11 marks for Wren. Modra front spot, he's great in that position. I don't think there's anyone better in that spot than Modra.
Well, he does tend to lead to his the wrong side for a right footer. You can see now he's going to be shooting from a less than satisfactory angle as Barry Mitchell comes off the ground. A couple of changes here now for Carlton. Heaver coming on from Mitchell. And Big Justin about to re-emerge. Gleeson coming off. So 2 runners off for one big fellow and another little rover.
Modra going for goal number 9. Close. Just missing, so he's kicked to 8-3 Modra. And Adelaide up to 16-14 to 7-5.
You know, I know it's finished a week ago, but he kicked poorly in the first quarter last week, and maybe it might have made a big difference to their performance. But there's the siren, so it's 3-quarter time at Football Park, and I would doubt whether the result is in question because Adelaide lead by 63 points, 16-14 to 7-5.
For the Crows, Madden, Williams, Hogg with McGuinness. And Craig Bradley tucked in behind Sean Wren.
Madden to go from the left. And remember in that second quarter, Adelaide kicked 7-8 and the Blues didn't score when Adelaide was going to the left-hand end. Tregenza through the centres had very good second and third quarter. Smart on a lead, unable to take what would have been a difficult mark. McCormack towards the boundary line, hoping it'll get there. Rolling and rolling, now starting to pull up. Bradley out after it. Hip and shoulder by Bradley, airy, and now running out. Groom going with him. And Bradley's really run himself out tonight by the look of it. Socks down, looks weary. Big crowd here, probably a sellout. All the tickets were sold, we were told. About 47,000 people as normal. Plans are underway to increase the stadium by 5,000 or 6,000 to get it up to about 52 or 53. Williams got it from Bradley, back into the centre. Rasciuto has been very good. Wide, Smart the target, Christou to go with him. Christou and Smart. It's been a good duel since Christou went back there. Smart trying to run away from him. Still with Smart. Still with Smart. Goes for goal. Hall chipping in behind. Point to Adelaide. 16-15 to 7-5. Smart, one of 5 goal scorers for the Crows. Groom off for the Crows. Brown there with him. And it's 111 to 47. 16-15 to 7-5.
The kick in has been marked by Hannah. He goes short. Christou in trouble. Jarman the tackler. Back to Hannah. Oh, gee whiz.
Isn't that a
Sit under that one, son. Oh, good stuff by McCormack. He made it his and took the mark away to Hannah. Surely this will be a much improved kick. Out towards Madden. Madden tries to get rid of it. He does for Bradley. Bradley tackled well by Big Wren. What about the ruckman's tackle on the smaller player? Tregenza, a sweeping hand pass. Tony Hall loves these, but he didn't like that. Kicks are behind. 3 goals, 2 to Tony Hall. 16-16 to 7-5. 18.5 minutes left. So Carlton, surely Jared would be striving to just keep this scoreboard a little neater than it looks at the moment.
Respectability, I think, Robbo, important when you're going into another big game next week, just to finish on a good note.
McCormack through the centre. Heaver back on the ground, gets a free kick against Liptak. Williams, the advantage is given to Carlton. Williams to Silvani, good kick Williams, good falling attempt by Silvani, gets back up. Rasciuto runs into him. Bond sweeps on it, it's already kicked one. Good play, goes for it, looks like he's kicked his second, he has. Promising player, export Adelaide 20-year-old.
Well, the value of the shepherd there. Troy Bond was about to be tackled.
What about the way Williams summed up the situation that the advantage kick was going to be taken?
Well, he's a pretty intelligent player.
Mate,
just have a look at the Holt Shepherd coming up. Won't be too many plaudits for this. It won't go on the stat sheet. There you see him take that Crow player out of the game and allows Bond to get his second goal. Been a reasonable debut from Troy Bond, ex-Port Adelaide player.
Well, he's had 16 possessions and what's that, his second goal. So
nippy.
Not a bad performance. The bounce back in the centre, 16-16 to 8-5. Madden, Williams, little kick towards half forward. Oliver makes it his. Tackled, didn't have the football. Maybe a little soft. But Oliver takes the free kick.
Probably a sign of things to come with Oliver up on the half forward line. I'm sure Kernahan and Oliver will just interchange. And of course Carlton have got Earl Spalding to come back into the side. And Rowan Welsh, another player. So they've got plenty of options of big players. They won't be all on the one team though.
Slow motion football. Justin Madden away to Silvani. Silvani's kick is way offline. Out of bounds on the full, and the free kick to be taken for the Adelaide Crows. Back there by Rouvray.
Well, it's a tough spot to start your football season, Football Park. Carlton did it 3 years ago. I think it was in '82. Worked that one out 2 years ago.
91
Sorry, 91. Thanks, Bruce.
There's McGuinness getting a free kick. Yes, they came here on a Sunday afternoon and beat Adelaide after Adelaide had thrashed Hawthorn in the opening round of the season. McGuinness.
Well, it's not a free kick because if McGuinness runs over the line, so can Craig Bradley, much to the dismay of a few of the Crow supporters.
I think they're looking for 50 metres because Bradley ran across in front of him.
But that's what I was saying. If Bickley goes first, he's allowed to go with him.
Maynard to Anderson. Anderson in the centre square. Modra the target's kicked 8 already. Goes with one hand. Handball by Kudafiti's pretty good to Williams. Williams getting a lot of touches now. 12 kicks, 10 handballs. Hannah away from centre wing. Been a better performance by Carlton since half time. Real blowout in that second quarter. Bradley tries to break a tackle, can't do it. Now Bond. Silvani on a lead. Rouvray with him. Silvani's been busy at full forward after having his colours lowered by Modra in the opening half and running it out of play. Crow supporters all getting a hat this year with their season's ticket in the colours of the club. And earlier today it was just the right bit of gear.
Down it comes to Liptak. He couldn't break clear. Bickley is there for Adelaide. Short kick by Bickley, effective. Puts Anderson in a good position and he marks at right half back. Greg Anderson, not bad statistics from the winger. He's kicked towards centre wing. There's a ball at the back. Wiedemann, little hand pass, Rashudo. Rashudo's kick in towards half forward, over the top of Hall. Kudafidis goes back. Ratton's kick in towards half back and Dean takes the mark. Dean's hand pass away to Kudafidis. Kudafidis long kick in towards half forward. Outnumbered back there was Heaver. Liptak is there. Gets the hand pass away to McGuinness, and McGuinness gives Hall one of his easiest possessions for the night.
In short to Lee. It's got Hall outside. He'll go there too. Slow kick, but it gets to Hall. He's at 50 on his left foot. Good kick. Goes right to the goal square. Modra will take a fly smart there. Well done, Christou. Punches it away from behind. 16-17 to 8-5. Peter Dean, the veteran, 29 years of age. He's played 163 games going into this. Gets it to Christou. Christou, centre wing. Hannah punches it forward. Had quite a few touches in this last quarter. Williams, well played Anderson to get it off him.
Great play, Anderson. Good turnover.
Nice looking kick. Wiedemann the target, unable under pressure to take it. Kudafidis from centre wing up towards half forward. Cook in the front spot, making his debut tonight along with Bond. Liptak, who's been quite brilliant in the back pocket. Jarman, he'll love this situation. He'll look for Modra. Modra will go. Jarman will kick it. Oh, well played, Dean. Came in from the side to take it away, and some good shepherding by Ratton. Dean out wide to Hannah. Had to sit, wait, prop. Get around McDermott now. Hannah looking for an option. Goes up to centre wing. Oliver gets pushed in the back. Gets a free kick against Jamieson.
He's had a very good game, Jamieson. Had a couple of players taken off the ground, in particular Michael Sexton early, but I think he's probably just a shade short to combat Stephen Oliver.
Oliver's kick in towards half forward. Ben Hart, a rare fumble, but he's able to gather. Bickley back to Ben Hart. Well done. And Maynard, a lovely little left foot kick to the advantage of Tregenza. Tregenza with that awkward bouncing style. Away to Liptak. Liptak's kick, very short. Modra makes it. Little hand pass, not quite as what Tony Modra would have liked. Away goes Sexton. Out wide. Played by Brown. In towards Williams. Williams looked to give it back to Brown. And then a short kick being marked by Bradley. Bradley's running in towards centre-half forward. He kicks up towards full forward. The kick was all right for Silvani. And Silvani ducks back and marks on his chest after removing Rouvray out of the contest.
It was good work there by Steve Silvani. He led forward initially. You could see Bradley had plenty of time to hold the ball. So then he reverted and went backwards, leading towards goal, a bit like Mark McClure did through the 80s. Took a pretty good mark on the chest.
Silvani has kicked one. Oh, this is very close. He may have missed this.
Sums up the night for Carlton.
Stephen Silvani's kicked 1 goal 3. And we mentioned that he started the game at full-back on Tony Modra. Modra, on the other hand, has kicked 8 goals for the Crows. 16-17. Plays 8-6.
Sexton's done all right, hasn't he, since he's gone back there. Rouvray short into Anderson. Sweeps around onto his left foot. Handball to Jamison. Bradley chasing. Jamison very short to Tregenza. Tregenza's wobbly one, very effective. Maynard. Modra. Quick lead. Sexton trying to go with him. Modra's acceleration always impressive. And this to Ty Dunstall as the leading goal kicker in the opening round. And I feel like we did last year with Ablett and Modra and Dunstall. It'll be a great battle between the leading goal kickers this year. Jakovic got 8-8 today. We hope to be talking to Neil Baum later tonight, and probably Lee Matthews, who's at the ground here. Modra's kicked his 9th. 9 to Modra. It's a great start for the season. He kicked 10 goals last year in his opening match against Richmond at the MCG. You can't ask for much more from a full forward to catapult yourself into a season, can you?
Don't look at me questioningly, Bruce. I would never argue with you when it comes to a statistic like that.
Well, he did. 17-17 to 8-6. Just thinking, Robbo, 10 goals Modra in the opening round last year, 9 in this round.
Well, there'll be some interested spectators, I'm sure, having backed Tony Modra to kick most goals in this round. And good effort there by Alvin. He probably knew that there were going to be some players coming down on him. He stood his ground, marked on his chest. He's kicking towards the pocket. Madden, a little bit too tall there for Rodney Maynard. And Madden is marked in the right forward pocket for the Blues.
And walking around like all experienced players will try to do, trying to open up the angle. The umpire right onto him, as are all the Crow supporters, particularly those in the yellow hat, right deep in that forward pocket.
And the umpire, I'm sure, wanted Justin Madden to move around another couple of metres, but Justin wasn't moving. So he's got some chance here to kick a goal for the Blues. Pretty quiet night statistically for Justin Madden. He can improve that, and a very good kick. It's a goal. The Madden's first goal brings Carlton up to 60 points. They've kicked 9-6-60, but they trail miserably on the scoreboard as we have another look here at Justin Madden.
He's a pretty good shot at goal, Justin, when he gets a set shot. Don't really like him on the move all that much, although he showed us a ripper last year in the semi-final. One of the goals of the year. Kicked 12 goals last year in total.
17-17 to 9-6. Madden with his first goal tonight. Wren wins the tap. Williams looking for a free kick. Didn't get one then. Tregenza. Hannah. Quick kick away. Getting a lot of touches, Hannah, in this final term. Jamison. Clever to Liptak. Against the flavour. Gave him a run. High tackle by Bond.
Yeah, a bit dubious too, Troy. I agree with that one.
Short by Liptak to Hart. Hart and Rashudo have both been excellent for Adelaide. Two of their teenagers. Alvin cut it off. McCormack. Centre half forward. Silvani gets set with Rouvray. Attacking it was Rashudo. Good football by Bradley. Bond with a chance to kick his third. High one. I think he's got it. Yes, he has. 3 goals to young Bond. And that's a pretty good effort for Bond. in a side that's been badly beaten. And the good thing about Carlton here, at least they're keeping going. They're up to 10 goals, 6 to 17-17. Outscored Adelaide in the second half.
Well, it's important, I think, that teams do fight games out, because you never know how important it's going to be in the final analysis. I know you can get back on percentage quickly if it's in the early rounds, but still, it's good to see them fight it out. Madden gets the tap out, but McGuinness bashes it forward. Kudafidi's at the back, sweeps onto the left foot, then gives a little right foot kick out towards Hannah. Hannah's at left half back, gets past Anderson, and a short kick taken by McCormick. He waited for it, probably not what you should do. Ratton, then Christou. Wider still for Bond, coming up for possession. Number 19 is Bond, and it's a good one. He puts it on Stephen Silvani's chest, 50 metres from goal. Silvani puts it into the square. Madden takes the mark, and I'm sure Carlton supporters would be happy with this. 2 marks by a man who's very, very tall as far as players are concerned in AFL football, and he's doing just what the Blues supporters have been looking for a long time from Justin Madden. 4 marks now.
Well, Shea Cockatoo Collins kicked 3 goals on debut yesterday, and got a vote from Bernie Quinlan. So we've got another young fellow, Troy Bond, also pushing up. Won't get a vote, but certainly one of Carlton's better performers tonight.
Madden shoots for goal, and it's pretty good. It's Justin's second goal. So the Blues kicked their 11th goal, and the fans trying to just G something up. Surely they have no chance of winning the game, because Adelaide are 17-17 and the Blues 11-6.
Well, I know the Crows will go away to a comfortable victory here, but just having a look at their list, they appear to have an absolute obsession with 6'2" to 6'6" feet players. They've got Broome, Bone and Wigney, who's probably a little bit past it. Robran, Smart, Ingerson, Wiedemann, Hall, Anderson, Modra, Brett Chalmers, a couple of young unknowns, Wellman and Sam Smart. They're all playing for about 4 positions on the ground, so I'm not overly impressed with the depth of the Crows, but on tonight's performance, they're going to be a danger.
Wren got a free kick, gave it to McDermott. Sexton got rid of Modra.
That was a push in the back post, wasn't it?
I'm sure a lot of fans out there agree.
Gee whiz, that
Sexton goes wide. Now Maynard, who's come onto the ground in this last quarter, on Cook at the moment. To Lee. I think a lot of people expected an avalanche in this final term, and it hasn't come. Carlton stuck to its guns well. Modra on a lead, going for his 10th goal. Great grab in front of Sexton.
You know, about 12 metres before he took the mark, Sexton was with him, and he seemed to just hesitate, which meant that Sexton had to stop as well. And then when Modra went again, it gave him that 1.5 metre space to mark in front of himself.
He's more spectacular than Dunstall, isn't he? But there's a lot of Dunstall in Modra, the way he can mark from the front.
That's a big statement.
Well, I mean, he takes a higher mark. I'm not saying he's a better player. I mean, Dunstall's probably the all-time great in terms of longevity and performance. Modra kicks his 10th. But he has some of Dunstall's great attributes.
Well, I think he's much more an excitement factor, isn't it? You know, some of the things that he does when you say the high marks, but Dunstall, I think there'd be a few fans that would be sort of saying, I'll vote for Dunstall, because they're both great full forwards.
I think the leap you just saw on TV is one of his great assets, so it's worth another couple of yards, because not many players can go with him. And just for the record books, just to please you, Bruce, last year his best was 13 goals, and that was also under lights versus Richmond in round 16.
Well, one wonders how many more goals he's got to kick to feature maybe as the best player on the ground. 10 in a team score of 18 certainly is a top performance, but Bickley has played pretty well. And there he is again, feeding the ball out to McDermott. McDermott's kick goes out in front of Smart. He falls over, but the ball spills for Lee. Lee's little kick, not too bad, but it's marked by Sexton, who on this occasion comes out in front of Modra. Short kick by Sexton, finds Ratton. Ratton nearly run down, gets the kick away in towards half forward. Mark taken by Cook was pretty good, and Cook has shown enough. He looks a little slow, but certainly robust enough to be of some use to the Blues across half forward. Ball kick though, Tregenza chops it off. Unselfishly, McDermott. Quickly, McDermott, wide, ineffective. Overrunning it was Heaver. In goes Bond. Still in there was Visca, and then eventually it finishes with Tregenza. Tregenza's kick goes towards half forward. Backing himself was Dean. Well done, Peter Dean, and he bashes the ball close to the boundary line. Safety first. It goes over in front of Tony Hall for a boundary throw-in.
Have to admire Peter Dean. He had to put up with the disappointment of missing a grand final berth last year with injury. Had a terrible injury to his foot. He's also suffered multiple fractures of a forearm that has put his career on stop a few times.
Koutafidis combines with Williams. Williams was under enormous pressure. Now Hogg to no one in particular. Brown, then Ratton. You're gone. Very much so. Visca. Hogg across to Williams. Williams tried to get it to McCormack. Not a lot of understanding there by the Blues in the middle of the field. Ratton now tries to get it clear. McCormack falls over, and that is so critical in modern day football. You must keep your footing, as the Crows have done there. Nigel Smart looks for Modra. Back at rebounds for Ben Hart. Tackled by Christou was very effective. Through comes Sexton. Keeps his footing and then kicks it back near the centre of the ground, where a great stretching diving effort by Rodney Maynard results in a mark to that player.
Back to Jamison. Jamison swings it wide. Not a really good kick. I think he's looking for McGuinness. Bond with the legs takes the mark. Very good debut by Bond. 20 years of age, 3 goals, and arguably in Carlton's best 3. Madden got it from Heaver to Hogg. Hogg from about 65 metres chips it in towards Cook at centre half forward. Bit indirect. Cook tackled by Maynard. Gets a handball away, but not really effective. Visca got it to Jarman. Jarman to Liptak. Liptak goes towards full forward. Modra's there, big fly. Hall at the back. Well played, Sexton. Gets it up to centre wing. Alvin out in front of Tregenza, who's ended up winning this duel on the night. Alvin Tregenza holds him up, robs him of it cleverly. Still Alvin, Tregenza to Wiedemann. Wiedemann short to Smart, to Jarman. They'll love this. Modra comes in to the goal square. Jarman kicks it to him beautifully. Wonderfully. 11 goals for Modra. And Jars did mean it.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfectly weighted kick, wasn't it? And Tregenza's done a very good job tonight. He's won a lot of hard balls.
Yeah, he's done quite well. He does very well at centre bounces, and he has done well in the crunch, as you said, Bruce, but I'm not sure he's won the battle. I think it was probably 50-50. I thought Alvin was well on top at half-time, but
well, Carlton get clear of the centre. Greg Williams kick, maybe a little awkward. James Cook away to Heaver. Heaver in turn to Bond. Bond a little slow. Got his kick away up towards full forward. A little too far out of reach there for Stephen Silvani. There's young Bond. David Parkin issuing instructions down to the bench. And a boundary throw-in will take place in the right forward pocket for the Blues. Cook up high. Madden. A battle there with Rodney Jamison for the possession of the football. And the umpire is forced to bounce about 25 metres from the Carlton goal.
well, it's difficult to assess exactly where the Crows are in terms of their value towards the or their drive towards the premiership.
Well, you've got to win enough games to get into a decent posse, I would suggest, and
I'll do that.
They look as though they might be a chance. There's a great kick by Fraser Brown as a goal to Carlton. So Carlton fighting the game out. And Fraser Brown congratulated there for kicking Carlton's 12th goal. They trail 12-6 to 19-17.
Yes, they looked poor in almost every position on the ground last week. Essendon gave them an awful thumping. In fact, I can't even think of one player that won his position for the Crows, and yet tonight it's difficult to find a bad player for them. Is it the venue? Is it the weather? Perhaps it's the full moon.
Bradley a little bloodied there. 4 minutes remaining. 19-17 to 12-6. Christou's quick kick around to Bradley. Bradley's had 10 kicks, 12 handballs. Reasonable game by him, but he has been held in check. Rouvray there with Silvani coming to ground. Heaver tried to sweep. McGuinness, Heaver again gets a little kick away. Getting back there is Visca. Spent a fair bit of time on the interchange after having Heaver kick a couple of goals early. Maynard went out to Anderson. Anderson's 13th kick. Back towards Jarman. Ratton at the back. Jarman unable to take it. Brown to Hannah to Williams. Williams back towards Bradley. Bradley going towards full forward to Cook. Good kick. And young Cook takes the mark. and now has a chance to kick his first goal in AFL footy. So the Blues, since half-time, have kicked 8 goals 4, and Adelaide has managed 7 goals 5, so they've done pretty well.
Yeah, a lot of people have written Carlton off. Well, I'm not one of those who think that they will tumble out of the 8. In fact, I think they've got a better side now than they did last year when they went into the grand final.
Big tumble though, Jared, from top at one stage to 8, not 6.
Apart from
Bond, people written them off.
Apart from Bond, how do you think they've lifted their pace across the ground? We'll watch Cook kick for goal, and then you may answer that.
Goes from about 30 metres and kicks it. So Carlton up to 13. I was being a bit facetious, Stuart. I just meant that
I'm used to that.
To play in a grand final one year, not be in the top 8 the next. I mean, now that we have a final 8 rather than a 6, would be a huge drop, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they've got a very difficult draw, and I think that's the premise on which most people were basing that assumption. But young Cook, well, he's done all right. He's got a taste of it. He's got plenty more in store. But just to answer your question, Robbo, I think if Mitchell can come through with a little bit of well, confidence, he's certainly not going to add pace to the side, but he will add extra run. I think that's where Carlton have fallen down tonight. It's not their sheer leg speed that'll be the deciding factor, but the movement of the ball, and that's true pace in today's football. Koutafidis, I think you'll see him play a lot of football, and he'll add that raw quality of pace to the game. And I think I've been quite impressed with McCormack. He's done quite well. I saw him debut up in Brisbane a couple of years ago. In fact, he got reported in his first game for smash tackling somebody, and he did that in the centre of the ground when he gave Bickley one hell of a bump. Not frightened to get in and share the bruising and the workload around.
Well, hasn't Wren played a wonderful game for the Crows? We saw him in the action there. McCormack gives away a bit of ground. Williams handball terrific. Ratton goes wide. Christou, the Blues have got a chance to score another goal here. Christou, the quickest player on the Carlton list. He goes through the centre, kicks towards full forward. Silvani, contest with Rouvray, ball on the ground. Maynard taps it back. Gleeson on the ground, in trouble. Silvani just patting the ball on in front of himself, went too far in the finish and gave Anderson the chance to get it across to McDermott, and the kick falls in short. Christou taps away from Nigel Smart, but Smart's recovery was excellent, and Anderson gets another possession and kicks wide across half forward. Wiedemann, can he get past? No, he's going to go for goal, and Wiedemann kicks the goal, and Jared, maybe you don't agree, but it's a goal. So Wiedemann very much idolised here by the Crows supporters, gets the goal from about 50 metres. Well, he's a lot closer than that.
He fainted there. Tony Hall was 30 metres on his own. There he is just at the bottom, and he totally ignored him. Wiedemann only kicked 7 goals last year, so he's not a big goal kicker.
Come that full moon always comes up after we see Wiedemann, Jared. You got
something extraterrestrial about him, isn't there, bud?
If you've got a direct line to the direct door. It's 2017 to 13-6. Crows mounting another attack, though. Carlton's performance in this last quarter has been pretty good. Wiedemann from half forward.
Look at Modra.
Touches a couple of times and then blazes away and scores a behind.
Well, long points from outside of the 50 are just low percentage performances from footballers today. That should have gone to the top of the square where Modra would have entertained us all in this last quarter, perhaps setting up mark of the day. But
you are looking into your crystal ball.
Well,
you're assuming a bit.
Bombing from outside 50 is one of the most poor percentage pieces of play football has to offer, and I think you'll find as we get more professional that there'll be a lot more set plays from set kicks from outside 50. And that should have really just gone to the top of the square.
2018 Adelaide, Carlton 13-6. Scott Lee, the 31-year-old Crow, who's played, I think, 66 out of the 67 matches that the club's been involved in. He's hardly missed, just missed the one. Here's Modra, 11 goals, got another one. Just the even dozen for the superstar in this city. I reckon he's bigger than Bradman, and a lot of people, I think, misunderstood what they meant when he said he was bigger than Bradman. They didn't mean he's a better talent. They meant that he's got more popularity because of what the media is doing.
Well, it's the profile, isn't it? I mean, if you explain it, it is genuine. I mean, that comment is a genuine comment. He's just an absolute superstar, as you mentioned, in this town.
12 goals. It's a big effort, isn't it?
I'm sorry, Bruce, to concur wholeheartedly with your comment there, but he's a tremendous player. Jarman trying to get the ball clear from Maynard. Maynard still, McGuinness, who's fought very hard to break clear. Now Fraser Brown. Hand pass smothered. Bickley, Tregenza, smart, handles the ball very, very sure. Modra, that must be a free kick. And the fans, well, I'm sure a lot of them came here expecting him to kick a bundle of goals, but, well, he's coming up for 13, which will equal his best effort in AFL football, which he kicked 13, last year, was it, against Richmond?
Here, under lights.
Well, he likes the lights. I think he just likes football park, and it's a beautiful kick. Never looked like missing. And good on him. He was under a lot of pressure during the week. I'm sure that the Crows administration were concerned with that young man, and he's fought back. Neil Curley said before the game that it wasn't a concern. He was focused. Well, let's hope from a Victorian football fan that he's not focused too often like this.
Well, I think that we all agree that perhaps Bickley was and Modra equal best on the ground at about halfway through the third quarter, but I think you'd have to say that 13 goals in a game of football is a BOG performance.
Bickley to half-forward, Wiedemann running onto it. Adelaide finishing with a flurry. Gee, what an exciting day when Jakovic could kick 8-8 and Modra 13 in the one day. Two of the really high flyers in the game. Two of the men that bring the people through the gates, excite people to want to come and see this terrific game of footy. McGuinness to Anderson. Could Modra kick 14? He's in the front spot, has a second grab. He's got it. No play on. Willing him home. He'll still have a chance. No siren goes. What an anticlimax. Oh. Well, he's a great star. He's a great footballer.
For a personal best, though, you think the umpire or the timekeeper would let it go another second.
Especially here in Adelaide.
No feel for the theatrics.
Tony Hall did pretty well. But the Crows, it's just the start they wanted in the season. They've won by 11 goals tonight. It was 22 goals, 18 Adelaide. And Carlton, 13 goals, 6. Modra, an incredible performance to kick 13 goals against this quality opposition.